Hello friends, today in this tutorial I'll be showing you a new tool that I deployed on my website, which is codingsiksha.com. So basically this tool is going to generate the QR code for text, images and for payments. So basically everyone inside the world uses QR code for generating payments or for any sort of text and image. So this is a great service which will allow you to generate the QR code in the browser itself. So basically this is the interface of this application. So now you can see it is successfully deployed on codingsiksha.com/QR code generator. So in the description of the live stream I've given the link here. So basically this is the actual tool that we will be building in this tutorial live stream. So you can see that this is a nice little interface which is designed using the Tailwind CSS framework, which comes with its own classes. For this you don't need to write any sort of CSS. It comes with a bunch of classes, utility classes, with the help of which you can design these cool little interfaces. So the application logic is that, guys, you can see that you can write any URL here, and let's suppose I write this codingsiksha.com HTTP, and then you can select the size, whichever size that you want to select for the QR code. Let me select 300 by 300, and then if I click the generate QR button, so basically there will be a spinner here. After that, now this will be the generated QR code. You will see that this is a generated QR code, and then there is a button here which allows you to save the image. If you click this button, so now basically what will happen is that your image will be saved here as a PNG image. Let me just show you. Once again, hit this button, save image. You will see that the PNG image is successfully saved here. If you see your image, this is the QR code which is generated here. You can see that. If you're joining it for the very first time, then please hit the like button. So you can see that this is the overall application, guys, that we will be building in this tutorial. So it's a QR code generator for any sort of URL, image or payment here. You can put a payment link as well here. It is not, you can put here any URL, google.com as well, and then you can select the size here, 600 by 600, and now you will see it will have a larger QR code here, and then there will be a simple button to save your image like this. You can see that. So this is the overall application, guys. In order to generate QR codes, it's very easy in the browser side. For generating the QR code, we are using a special library called as QR code JS. So if you search for this QR code JS, this is the library. So it's a cross-browser QR code generator library for JavaScript. It is also available for Node.js as well. So basically this is the, we are using it. You can provide a text, width, height. You can also provide color as well, but we haven't used color in this tutorial. But you can add an option, the third option, that you allow user to choose their favorite color for QR code. This can be colorful as well. So this is the QR code generator, guys, we will be building in this tutorial. So let's start building it. So if you want to get all the source code, I have written a complete blog post on my tutorial website codingsiksha.com. So here I've given all the source code. So this is a source code is there. So just go to the description of this live stream. You will see that here the link is given in the description of the live stream. So let's get started, guys, by building this application. So now I will delete all the source code and start from scratch. So just make an index.html file here and give it a title that QR code generator in JavaScript. So now we will write our HTML. For, as I already told you guys, we are using Tailwind CSS framework for designing the interface. So Tailwind is a great framework for CSS for designing CSS layouts without having to write custom CSS. It's a great framework and it is maintained by a bunch of developers out there. It's a very famous framework. You can read the documentation, but I will be telling you how to use its ready-made classes which are available to design these interfaces. So there is an extension inside Visual Studio that you can install for autocomplete for Tailwind. Just write here Tailwind and the very first plugin which comes in, which is this one, Tailwind CSS Intelligence. So just install this. So this will make it easy to work with Tailwind classes. You will get auto suggestions. So for doing this guys, we need to include the CDN for Tailwind. It's very easy. Just put a link tag and inside style sheet you have this https cdn.tailwindcss.com like this. So I think this is a script tag, sorry. So just surround it, script source https cdn tailwind css.com. So this is a script tag that you need to include now to use it. And also guys, we will be using the Google fonts, so we need to include these custom Google fonts style sheet. So include these link tags. All the description code will be given, so you can just copy paste it. So now after including all the dependencies, we will also need to include its this one. This is QR code JS library. So as I already told you, in order to generate the QR code, we are using this external library called as QR code JS. So we are just including its CDN. So if you just search on Google QR code JS, so this is a library and we are just including a CDN like this. So after including its CDN guys, so if you're joining it for the very first time guys, we are building a QR code generator which is deployed on my website Coding Shiksha. It allows you to generate the QR code and save this image inside your computer. So we are using Tailwind CSS to generate the layout. Tailwind CSS is a great framework which allows you to add ready-made classes without having to write custom CSS. So this is the interface. It is looking quite good. And now to design this interface guys, it is pretty easy. If I now write it, uh, before that you also need this custom JavaScript which is for setting the Tailwind config file. Paste it here. So inside this Tailwind guys, we are just setting out the theme and the font family. So you just need to copy paste. The link will be there inside video description. So now let's start building the interface guys. So first of all, I will just write the HTML. Later on, I will add the classes. So here we will have our header element, and inside header, we will just give it a class empty here for now. Later on, I will add the classes. So div and class, and first of all hit the like button guys. So again we will have empty the class here, and here we will simply say QR code generator. There will be a heading here. After this header section guys, we will put a image source. It is the spinner svg alt nothing. So there are three images out there which we are using here inside this. So QR code svg, say svg image, screen.png, you can see that, and spinner.svg. So all these images are there. I have given this link in the description, so just download it. After this guys, we will have the main section where we will be styling this. So right here we will have the main section. So inside the main section we will have another div, and we will not be assigning the class nows. We will later on assign the classes. here we are just writing the interface here. So we will have simple heading here, which is QR code generator, and this is just bare bone HTML, guys. So basically, let me paste it. Let me don't waste your time. So if you just open this inside open with live server, it's just a bare bone HTML. It's QR code generator. QR code allows smartphone user to access your website simply and quickly. Enter your URL below to generate a QR code and download the image. So it is just bare bone HTML. And now after this, we will have a form. After this paragraph ends, we will have a form. So inside this form, we will give it a ID to the form so that we can target it inside JavaScript. Generate form, and class will be empty, and we will have a input field which is type of URL. Basically here you need to input the URL. ID will be URL, and here we will be giving a placeholder, that is enter a URL. So basically enter a URL, and again we will be left the class empty. So later on when we complete the application, we will assign these classes of Tailwind and design the interface. And after this we have got a select field, select element. Inside this select element, guys, we will have the name, which will be equal to size. So here you will be providing the size of the QR code. So we have various options. So these options will be, let me paste it, copy paste it. So this will be a drop down, and there will be a various options, which is 300 by 100, 200 by 200. This will be selected by default 300 by 300. So you can see that. After this, we will have a simple button to submit the form, which is, we will say that generate QR code. So basically this will be, we will left the class at empty, and type will be our submit. That's it. So now if I refresh it, you will now see this will now contain this input field. This is a select box, and then this is a button. You will see that. So after this, guys, now we need to simply, after this, we need to have another div. Inside this div, we will have the image. So the class will be empty. Source will be image slash QR code SVG. So basically, this is the image that we are using for the logo for SVG, sorry, QR code. So after this ends, guys, you can see that we will have another section where we will be having another div. So this time we will be giving a ID. So this will be the generated QR code image. So here, first of all, we will have a simple spinner. Uh, Basically, we have the spinner. So whenever you click the button to generate the QR code, there will be a spinner which will be there by default. If you now see here, open with live server. So there will be this spinner, guys. You will see that this is a spinner here. This is built using SVG. So this is a spinner that we will be animating whenever you click the generate button. So this will appear for just one second, and then it will go away. After this, we will display this resultant QR code. We will give it a ID of QR code, and we will left the class as empty. That's it. So this is all that we need to do, guys, for now. This is all the HTML. Now it is not looking good, but still we just need to complete the JavaScript, And at last I will tell you to design how to design this using the Tailwind classes. We will assign the classes dynamically and see how it pans out. So now you need to create your custom JavaScript file. So right here we will include this file, script.js. So just create inside this root directory script.js. So right here guys, we will write the JavaScript part now. So first of all, we need to get the reference to the form element. So we have given this ID to the form element, which is generate dash form. After getting the reference, we will also get the reference to the document.getElement by ID of the QR code. So basically this is the QR code that we have initialized the diff section where the QR code will be displayed. So we have got the references of both the elements. So after this guys, we need to attach a event listener to the form. So we can simply say that form.add event listener. So whenever the form submits, so this e parameter, so basically we will declare a function. So right here at the bottom, if you see, we will declare a function called as on generate submit. So this function will be executed guys. So now to make this function on generate submit, this will have the e parameter. So inside this function guys, first of all, we need to prevent the auto submission of the form. So we will say that e.prevent default, and then basically we will get the URL which the user writes, document.getElement by ID URL dot value. So whichever URL that user writes here inside this input field, we will get it by its ID. And similarly, we will get the size as well, which the user selects, document.getElement by ID size dot value. That's it. So whichever size the user selects. So here we will check for the validation part, validating the URL. Inside a if condition, we will simply say if URL is empty, in that case we will say to the user that please enter a URL like this. And in the else block, we will simply say that if the URL is valid, so now we will be generating the QR code for. So now first of all we need to show the spinner. So we will say show spinner. This is a method that we need to make. So we will say that show spinner. So inside this is a simple method in order to show the spinner. Let me see. Something has gone wrong guys, so just wait. Just wait guys, the I think it was just a problem of crashing here. So if you're joining it for the very first time, then we are building a QR code generator inside JavaScript. It is just crashed here, so just wait. So in the meantime, if you have any sort of questions, guys, you can ask in the comment section. I will highly recommend that you ask questions also. And please hit the like button as well. So let me open it again here. So just wait here. I Let me go to the task manager and close it. Sometimes it can create problems, guys, so you can see that it is crashed, so we need to reopen it. Sometimes this Visual Studio can cause problems. So you can see, first of all, we need to show the spinner, and here we need to create a method here which will do the process for us. So this is the arrow function. So basically now to show the spinner, it's very easy. uh, Inside this we will say const spinner and document.get element by id. So we have provided the spinner element id of spinner. So we need to change its property spinner dot style dot display to block. And when we load the page, guys, we need to hide the spinner. We don't want to show it. So again we need to create another method which will hide the spinner. Hide spinner. This will again a simple method. So here we will get the reference to the spinner first of all by document.get element by id spinner, and then we need to do the reverse process of this. So spinner dot style dot display to none. So basically this will hide the spinner. So we need to call this function when we load the script here. So now basically if you see, if you open this in the browser, you can see the spinner will not be shown to you. So if you enter the URL, you need to enter a valid URL. So you can see size 300. Let me see. In the script.js, you will see that if the URL is not empty, then we need to show the spinner. So const spinner. So here you will see that show spinner and hide spinner. So in the index.html file, guys, you will see we have given this ID to the spinner, which is this div ID spinner. So that's why we are making use of it. So what we can do, we can call this here hide spinner. If you reload, now you can see the spinner is not showing here. So that's the important thing. Whenever you declare the function, after that you need to call it. Don't call it before. So that's why it was not executing it. So now you can see when you reload the page, it is the spinner is not showing. So whenever if I enter a URL, click generate QR code. So now it is showing the spinner here. You can see that. So now we need to only show it for 1 second, and after that we need to generate the QR code. So for doing this, we need to use a special method here which is called as set timeout. So here what we need to do, first of all we need to call the show spinner method. We need to show the spinner, and then we need to only show it for 1 second. For showing it for 1 second, we need to use set timeout. Here we need to provide 1000 millisecond. This means that this code will run for 1 second delay. So after this, we will call hide spinner to hide the spinner after 1 second. And then we will call another method which will call generate the QR code for us, which is generate QR code. And here we will pass the URL and the size values. You can see we have got the URL and size values which the user provide, and then we are passing it to this custom function. So here we need to create another function which will be generate QR code. So basically this will get the URL and size. This is an arrow function. So here we need to generate the QR code. So for generating this, guys, as it's very easy, we will need to create a new instance of this QR code library, and here you need to pass QR code and the properties. This is an object. So the text will be equal to the URL which is passed, the width will be equal to the size, and the height will also be equal to the size. That's it. Because width and height will be the same, 300 by 300, 400 by 400. So after this, you can see that it will generate this QR code for us. You can see that. So after this, what we need to do is that after this function generate QR code, we need to uh, uh, here we are calling it. So after this 1 second is over, we, if you see here, uh, now if I refresh it and try to enter a URL, click generate QR code. So now you can see for 1 second that spinner appears and now your QR code is generated. This is your QR code here. You can see that if I move my face upwards, and also let me move it this window, you will see this QR code is now generated. If you uh, type a different URL, change it to different size 700 by 700, click it, now you can see it is even bigger. You can see that. So you can right click save this image on your computer, but we will do it automatically. We will provide a button for the user to download this image to your computer. So for doing this, guys, uh, we need to write a function for this. So after generating this QR code, we will once again have a set timeout, and this will now run for 50 milliseconds. This is very short interval of time. We are doing this because we need to get the URL of that QR code. So for that we need to have a slight delay once it is generated. So now we can get the save URL, which will be the URL base64 URL of QR code. So this will be QR query selector image dot source. So basically here we are just assigning, we are manipulating the source parameter of this image tag. You can see that this QR code, we have got the reference here to this QR code. You can see that at the very top we have got this reference, and now we are simply assigning it to the image like this. If you see here like this. So after this, guys, we need to call a method which will be creating the save button. So create save button. Here we will pass the base64 URL, which is save URL. That's it. So now we need to create this method right here. This will be again a arrow function. So this will receive that save URL. So please hit the like button, guys, if you're liking the content, and also subscribe the channel for more videos like this, more live streams like this. So inside this, guys, uh, in the save button, we will have just a anchor tag. We will create this anchor tag using document.create element. We will pass a, and then we will be giving it a ID of save link, just manipulate it in later on. And also we will be providing a class list. Basically this will be empty by default. We will attach it later on when we talk about Tailwind classes. And here link.href, basically this will be equal to the base64 URL which is passed here, save URL. And after this we need to download this, so we will give it a name called as QR code, and then we will add this link.innerHTML. The label will be simply save image, and then we will add this to the DOM. So for adding it to the DOM, we will simply say generated dot append child, and then we will append it as a append the link. That's it. So here, what will now happen, guys, if I refresh it, if I enter a URL, click generate QR code. So now you will see this button, guys, which is save image. Let me just show you this button. My face is coming here. So now at the very bottom, you will see the save image button. If I click this, your PNG file will be downloaded. So now the application is overall working, guys. We just need to design this interface, which is, you can even have 700. So now you have save image as like this. So now we need to design the interface, guys. The application is almost complete. So now what we can do is that we can now design our application. So just go to the index.html, guys, and here now we will be attaching the classes step by step. So just clearly notice how it changes. So I will just float this window at the right hand side so that you can clearly see what is happening. Let me float this and also put this side by side. So now this is your interface, guys. First of all, we will target this header class. You can see that header section. Here we will now attach the classes of Tailwind. So just closely look how I do it. So there is different classes out there, guys, which is very much utility classes for adding padding, margin, background color. So if you write here P stands for padding. So here you will see P0 means that it will add short padding. P1 will add slightly more. You can see that. P2 will add slightly more, and P3 will add more padding. So in this way you can control how much padding margin you can control the interface. So you can see in the right hand side how the values are interface is changing live. So you can see that P4 is the class that we need to give. P means padding, and then M means margin. From the bottom position we need to give it 10. So you can see now it creates some space from the bottom side. So MB stands for margin bottom. So if you don't study, guys, Tailwind CSS, I will tell you that this is the number one framework out there. I think it's better than Bootstrap if you want full customization. Many developers love it because it is compatible with the Angular, React, Vue.js, all the component-based libraries. So there's a lot of positive things about Tailwind CSS. And then when it comes to background, guys, which is BG, and here you can give any color. Let's suppose you need to give here, you can see all these colors are supported. BG black, so this will make the background black. There is also a white, BG white. There is, you can see all these shades are there. BG gray 800, you can see that. So this is the beauty of this plugin which is there inside Visual Studio. This makes it very much easy which classes to assign. You can see that how much classes are there. BG red, BG orange, you can see that. So for this, guys, we will be using BG red 500. This is the class that we are using here, BG red 500. So this is, you can see that it has made this header section beautiful. Now we will come to the second part, which is this one. We will make the maximum width here, maximum width, and then 5 XL. You can see that, and then we will make it in the auto. So this will center itself. You can see that. So after this, we will have this text. we will have XL. XL stands for extra large. So you can see that this makes this text extra large. You can also make it even bigger, like 5XL. So this will make it even bigger here. You will see that all these utility classes are there. Text SL. So after this, we also need to bold this text here. So we will simply say font bold. So this will make the this text as bold. And also now to change the color, we will have text white. So this will change the color to white. So you can see that, guys, how easy it is in Tailwind. You don't need to left your HTML to write CSS code. In the HTML itself, you just are assigning classes and it is automatically generating your layout. It's the most beautiful thing that I have done in programming. So after this, guys, we will go to the next section, which is this section, which is this one. So here, guys, what we need to do is that inside this we will make this section as flex column. You can see that how it is in the right hand side. We will flex column reverse, and here we will be aligning it in the center position. Align center and just justify center. So basically what it will do, guys, if you see, it will make this in the center position. You can see that how it is looking. If you even check my blog post, in the blog post itself, I think image source, yes. And now there are more classes to be attached after this. So after this, guys, we have to attach margin auto. So this will, M stands for margin auto. So basically after this we need to attach medium sizes devices. We need maximum width. For medium devices we need maximum width 4XL. Padding we need 10, like this. So these are the classes, and now we will attach to this div. We will make the width full. On medium devices the width will be 2 by 3rd, and this will be MR, margin from the right position 24. And here we will attach this class text 3XL to this paragraph, font bold. If you see here, you can see we are styling this. You can see that text 3XL. So this will make this 3XL. And now to bold this, so we will again use this class font bold. This will make this text as bold. And also we need to attach margin bottom from 5, MB5. And on medium devices we need to have this medium devices we need to change the size, which will be text 4XL. So it is completely responsive here. You can see that if you like this, if you shrink it, you will now see it is completely mobile friendly. You can see that this layout on mobile, it is looking like this. If you increase the size, it will increase the size. You can see that how it is looking pretty good here. You can see that. So please hit the like button, guys, if you're liking the content. So next class we will assign, guys, is to this MB4, and MB4. And now we will be attaching the classes for the input fields. So basically, if you refresh here, this is the input field that we are targeting. So basically, we will first of all make it full, width full, border 2, border gray 200. So this will have a gray border. You will see that now. To make it rounded, we will use the rounded class. So just make it rounded. So this will make the fields rounded here. You will see that. And then basically we will have padding from, you can see the padding is increased here. And then basically we will make the text to be gray, dark. So when you write something here, it will be gray like this. This is a shade. And then we will be giving margin from the right position to 2. So when you focus it, we need to remove the outline. So focus, outline, none. So this means that whenever you focus, outline will not be there. Similarly, we need to do it for the select field as well. So in the class section here, W full, border 2, and border gray 200. You can see that. Round it, and then basically text gray dark, margin from the right position, focus, outline, none. That's it. So now you can see that this is the values here. Now we need to do it for the button. So for the button guys, we will have the gray background, BG gray 600. This will make it as gray. And then we need to make this rounded button, W full, and text we will change to white. So after this we will have some more classes, which is py. Py stands for padding from the y position, px from padding from the x position, and margin top 5. So you can see that this is our button ready. So we need to attach a pseudo class. So when we hover onto the button, we need to change the background to black. So now you can see that when we hover onto the button, the background changes to black. So after this guys, we will attach to this here W full MD 1 by 3 self center. So this is, we are attaching, we are styling this image. So basically what will happen now, this image will go about here. In mobile devices, it will be right here, stack here, but it is completely responsive. You can see that. So after this guys, we will have the next class, which is for the image here. So here we will say that max w 5xl m dash auto, and then we will say flex call text center, and also we have this other class align center, justify center, margin top from 2, so margin top to 20. So I also don't have the full experience in Tailwind CSS, but I am also learning. It's a very fantastic for framework to design interfaces. You should obviously invest some time in learning this. It's very good framework. And then we will have this inline MR2 W24 H24 text. We will change to gray 200. You can see that we are styling this portion now. So there are also animation classes as well, guys. So you can also animate spin, dark, text, gray, 600. So all this animation classes, color classes are all available. It is totally up to you how you need to do it. Fill pink, 600. So now this is for the spinner, guys. Basically, if you see now, if I write something here, click generate, we need to write a HTTP URL. So now you will see that the spinner will be there. You can see that for 1 second. So the next class is SR only and M auto. Let me also write it. SR only and M auto. That's it. You can see that. So now for styling this button, guys, we have various classes out there. So if you see, so inside of this button, so inside our script.js, so right here, uh, inside of a button, we forgot to add these classes. So we can now add these classes. So just add these classes, guys. BG red 500. So this will make it background to be red. You can see that. Now we can start this application. I think, guys, I have written make some mistake here uh, in coding in writing this code here from scratch. So you can go to the description of the live stream to copy paste all the source code. Sometimes it can happen because while coding, I also am new to this Tailwind CSS, so that's why also these some of the classes would be in error. So go to the description and copy paste the correct source code. Now basically you will now see the interface will be there in the correct order. So here you need to enter the URL, and now you will see the spinner, and this is your button here. You can save this image like this, and if you once again do it for the second time, choose something 700 by 700. Now you can see that how it is looking good, very good. You can see that. Save this image, So it's a very necessity, guys. In these modern times, you need to have a QR code. Every shopkeeper has to have a QR code while collecting payments. So it's a very good tool. You can also print this image inside a sheet of paper, and then inside your shopkeepers, they can also use this QR code for payments. Customers can pay their bills using this QR code. You can just assign a URL. Just provide this URL here and select your size accordingly, 500 by 500, and then click the generate QR button to save this image. This is the very nice application that I want to develop it. You can see that it is looking so good. And now I will read all the comments that you have made and try to reply to them. So learn some coding is saying VS Code nowadays have some issue. It sometimes face it. Yeah. Many a times it crash, and it's very frustrating when you are developing some important work and it suddenly crashes. So I am also feeling that issue because in the latest version there are some bugs that needs to be fixed. Awesome, bro, is Midas saying. Are we building QR generating using URL? Yeah. We need to pass a URL, and then if you click the QR code generator, then it will generate it. Is this possible to put image in center of QR code just like phone pay or WhatsApp QR code in center? They have logo, so we quickly identify which UPI code it is. Yeah, you can do it, but I think there will be a separate code for this. You can put a logo just on that QR code so that people can uniquely identify which is Google Pay, which is Paytm, which is Phone Pay. Yeah, you can do it, but I don't think so. This library allows it. Screen is freeze. Yeah, for some time. Can't see code. Traversy Media a week ago done same. Yeah, I got that idea. I watched his video, so that's why I implemented this application. So the source code is his. So I've just tried to replicate that one and also increase my effectiveness as well. Same code. Yeah, but you can change the design. It is totally up to you. You can change it, change the interface. It's Tailwind CSS. It's very much easy to change the CSS. You can change the colors, BG green. So if you change these, you can see the interface looks totally different. So there is just a matter of time to change some of the classes, some of the background color, and basically the logic remains the same. You can't say that it is the same code because in programming same it is not private code. He has made this code public so other people can watch his code, try to learn something. So in programming you can't say that it is copy pasting. It is not copy pasting. We are learning all the time from other developers. It's a healthy competition. Every developer is not saying that he knows everything. Every developer needs to learn something from other developers, and Traversy Media is my favorite YouTube channel. I'm saying that I'm watched all his videos regularly. So that's why I'm very really happy to replicate some of the skills that Brad Traversy, and basically I love it, love his videos, and basically some more questions, guys, that you need to ask related to programming, some more ideas that you can give me in future, which of the topics you want to learn. I will definitely try to put the live streams. In the next live stream, guys, in just I think 15 to 20 minutes, we will be building a barcode scanner, QR code scanner. So try to join in that live stream. So we will be scanning stuff. So this will be the next live stream which will be coming. So please join in that live stream also. And if you got some questions, you can ask it. If you don't have questions, I will turn off this stream. Just reply it in the text section. You can see the current site traffic. It is really boosted in 2-3 days. You can see that now it is looking so good. 9% increase in the last 7 days. It is quite massive, and we are seeing from 2-3 days the massive Google update will be coming, and finger crossed, because whenever a Google update comes, the traffic goes down. So I really hoping and praying to God that this time my website traffic remains the same and still increase it at this level. So you can see that organic traffic is also up 3.1, 3.3, and YouTube traffic is also up because I'm making regular videos, regular live streams. So that has a positive impact on the channel. And for the first time, the channel has crossed over 9,000 daily views. You can see that 9,471. So this was on August 22. You can see that the real time 48 hours, the views are really up. So that's quite good how it is shaping out to be. So the channel is looking quite good, guys, and I can't explain you how you guys support this channel. Keep on supporting it, keep on liking it, and that's the only thing that I can tell you. Keep on supporting it, and if you have questions, you can ask it in the comment section. I will highly recommend that you ask questions. I am waiting for your questions. If you have any sort of question, you can ask in the comment section. Tadashi Inuya is saying, hey, hello, bro. If you want to have any sort of question, you can ask in the comment section. The traffic is so much increased, which is quite looking good here. If you're joining it for the very first time, then please hit the like button, guys. Subscribe the channel as well. So please ask your questions related to blogging, programming, and Ezoic. AdSense as well. So AdSense revenue is also up. You can see that $3 yesterday it was made. It's quite a good day, and CPC is quite good. So all in all, a good day in the blogging office, YouTube office as well. So app with help of Python. Yeah, I will definitely do that stuff, guys. So no need to worry about it. I will develop that inside Python itself. So guys, if you're watching it for the very first time, then please hit the like button, which is there inside the below the video. And here in this tutorial, we have built this QR code generator. So you need to put the URL and select the size and basically generate QR code. So we have built this. You can see we have a spinner. You can save this image inside your computer. This is a nice interface we have built here. So all the source code is given in the description of the live stream.